Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another episode of Learn with Shavern. So, on today's episode, we're going to talk about these 3D printed guns, right? I think that's very interesting. I know it's not new news. The reason why it's come up is because the one of the co-creators, Cody Wilson, he's being charged right now for like having sex with an underage girl or something like that, and he ended up resigning from the company that started up this whole thing. But I want to revisit what a 3D gun is. Well, not revisit. For those of you who are not know, may I introduce it to you, what a 3D gun is and how it's used, and a little bit of background on the drama that's going on behind it. So, a 3D gun is made with parts using a 3D printer. The plans and the blueprints and the designs for them can be created. They can be downloaded online or like created on a computer or whatever, however they do it. The assembly of the guns are primarily made of plastic. And I will share the link below so you guys can see how it looks, because it doesn't look like a regular plastic gun that you would buy from like a dollar store or something like that, or like a Walmart, right? It doesn't actually look like that at all. And initially when I read the article, that is what I envisioned in my mind, was like one of the toy guns, how they described it, but it does not look anything like that. So when you guys see it, let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear your feedback and thoughts on this. The assembly of the guns are primarily made of plastic, and they're capable of firing real bullets. So the way that it works is that there's like a steel pin that allows it to trigger, and that acts as like the firing pit for it or whatever. Now, here's where it gets super interesting. The US-based group called Defense Distributed was created back, I think, in like 2012. They disclosed plans back in July 31st of 2018 to design a working plastic gun that could be downloaded and reproduced by anybody with a 3D printer. Now, I'm going to pause right there, because as cool as that sounds, and I am all for self-policing, that's also a little bit concerning, because we got a lot of psychos out here in the world. Like for real, there's a lot of crazy people out here. I don't know how good it is that everybody get access to that. I don't know. But then, when you add restrictions and so forth, then it starts getting sticky with like, all right, well, how do you decide, or how do you determine who's going to be the ones to get this from the ones who don't? But I guess they should treat it just like any other gun licensing, right? Like to obtain it. I feel like maybe that type of restriction, like you have to do a background check and so forth, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but I just thought that was an interesting piece. The Defense Distributed Company also has a design for a 3D printable AR-15. Now, I like big guns for some reason. I like the rifle and stuff like that. They're cool. Well, they made the printable AR-15, like the magazine part that you clip on the bottom. For those of you who are not familiar with how guns look, the magazine is the part where all the bullets are kept, right? They made a plastic part of that instead of it being like that heavier metal, which is, I guess, is kind of cool if you think about it. Like the people that's in the military, it'd probably be a lot lighter for them to carry around that type of weapon, as opposed to like a gun is heavy. Like even an AK-47, like those are heavy. The Heckler Koch guns, like those things are heavy. Even, I don't care how muscular you are, they still heavy. It's still weight on you. It can slow you down. So I guess in that aspect, that could be a positive there. Now, one concern that I did come across was that the Defense Distributed Company is a company that has been distributing downloadable weapon plans for free. Now, I'm not sure if they're still doing that, but pretty much anybody who has access to the internet across the world can access those type of weapon plans, blueprints, and designs, and there's no fee associated with it. According to what I read, all the visitor of the website has to do is like give some type of donation, but I think it asks for like a $10 fee or whatever. Now, going back to the drama part, right? Cody Wilson, I guess when he was 25 is when this whole 3D printed gun thing is when he started it. Now, I just think it's a little bit interesting that when Cody Wilson was asked to not share his plans for free, right? All of a sudden, he gets caught up with some scandal and is facing up to like 20 years imprisonment right now for messing with some young 16-year-old girl who he supposedly met on some website. I can't even remember the name of the website, but you guys can Google that if you're interested to know about the messy details about Cody Wilson's life. But I just think it's interesting because think about this motion real quick. Cody Wilson, the creator of a 3D gun, he created something quite innovative. Think about it, right? And they trying to take him out. That's how I look at it. I look at it as they try to take him out because shortly after he creates this wonderful thing, all of a sudden some scandal comes up. Does this man have a history of messing with underage women? Like, do people that know him, can they vouch for that? Like, is that a thing for him? It's just interesting, right? I always like to observe the motions in which are made. The powers that be don't really like us common men being too great, right? I think I saw something in an article the other day about one of the Kardashian girls and how she got some award that was the equivalent to Jay-Z, who has been working diligently for over 20 years. And they're on the same level financially wise, and it was just going to show the difference in how much work has to be put in depending on the individual. So I just thought that motion was interesting. I think this whole thing with Cody Wilson is interesting because he was one of the pioneers, or is the pioneer of the 3D printed gun. And I think 3D printed gun is actually a dope idea. Like I said before, I'm a huge advocate for self-policing, and I highly encourage, especially my ladies out there, to go to Women Wednesdays at the gun range if you live in a right to carry state. But please do drop a comment below on what you guys think about this. If you've never heard about the 3D printer before, let me know what you think about that. I know my motions over the past few shows, right? I've been discussing these different innovative technologies that have been coming out every day and sharing them with you guys. So if it's news to you, let me know what you think. If it's not news to you, let me know what you think anyway in regards to this Cody Wilson situation. Let me know what you guys think in terms of, do you think a 3D printer should have restrictions on it, like getting access to it? Do you think that access should be free for all? Or should there be, a little criteria list just like there is for everything else to ensure the safety of the general public, of us, right? There's a reason why certain things are hidden or not exposed to the general public to keep everybody from not going crazy and losing their minds. But peace and blessings, family. I do wish you guys a positive and productive day. I want to thank everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, becoming Patreons. Follow me on Instagram at Learn with Shavern. We do have some new material underway for you guys, so stay tuned. I'm very excited to share this, and I am very grateful and blessed to be here with all of you guys.